All right, guys, we are on day 2 of the sophomore promises. Jaden, are you going to do your promise, buddies? Jaden, are you there? All right, guys. Here's the Nearpod.
Ms. Coper, I'm not sure if you muted yourself purposely. Just want to let you know we can't hear you in case.
It's funny. I don't know how that happened.
Good morning, Alberto. Are you presenting today? Not today.
Hi, you got eggs? Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. I'm excited. You want to come say hi to the 10th graders? Tell them good luck on their promises this week? Come say hi. Ah. Ah. All right, let's go, 10th grade. Write promises on the collaboration board. Hey, Mr. Garcia. Redrop that Nearpod link. Look, all these kids who are here on time, they're like the A kids. The kids getting the A's. Let me make some co-hosts. Okay, Mr. Bryant, you're a co-host. And let's see. Sweetie, say good luck to the 10th grade. Say bye-bye. Say good luck. Good luck. Hey, let me see if I can make Mr. Garcia co-host.
I want my egg.
You want your egg? Oh yeah, here's your egg, Max. Thank you for letting people in, guys. Okay, Mr. Garcia, you're a co-host. You should be now, right? All right. Good morning, everyone. Let's start and end on time. And apologies to everyone for the promises going a little bit longer. I don't think that should be a problem this week, but we'll see how it goes. But let's work on starting and ending on time. Just a reminder that the sophomore promise is kind of, it evolves, right? It evolves because little promises, you need little promises to keep the big promises. And it's a lifelong goal. Like keeping your promise is a lifelong goal and something that you're gonna work on. And we want everyone in the 10th grade to feel like they said their promise out loud publicly, whether that's through art or if that's through drama. So I just wanna welcome everyone and invite anyone to write on the collaboration board. Let me make sure the chat's open, 1 second. And then I see positive praise coming in. Everyone's giving people a shout out. Miss Jimenez and Mr. Bryant, thank you for dropping that Nearpod link. So yeah, just like take a moment and write a new promise or a different promise. Maybe you heard a promise on Thursday from period 2 drama. You got so inspired, so now your promise has this new layer. So add those additional promises. And yeah, keep those promises coming. It's fire. Look, here they come. So, and you can put as many Post-its on as possible, you know, because like we need to believe in ourselves. We need to believe that we can grow. Jocelyn says, I promise to work harder. Josh says, I promise to be myself. Indeed. I promise to be nice, says Jose. I promise to love myself, says Brittany. I promise to speak up for myself. I promise to be myself. I promise to motivate myself about school. Yeah, Kaylee. Yes. There's any time to turn it around, guys. It's 10th grade, the midpoint of your high school experience. Thank you, Mr. Bryan. Points for Mr. Bryan. I promise to speak up when I see an injustice. Miriam says, I promise to be a better person. Marilyn says, I promise to keep myself happy without having distractions. Jose says, fire, class of fire, yes. Lindsay Rosales says, I promise to be myself. Jenny says, I promise to make better choices. Angel says, I promise to stay focused. Alberto says, I promise to be more motivated about school, be more supportive of myself. I love that. Wilson says, I promise to get the confidence to speak up. You got this, Wilson. Henry says, I promise to never give up and to get better. Itzel says, I promise to make good decisions. Make smart choices, you all. Maribel says, I promise to live with the way I look. Jose, always lifting each other up. Alberto says, I promise to show more support for others. Javier says, I promise to keep a healthy mentality and attitude. Teachers, do you have any promises to kick us off for the final week? Any thoughts from the teachers? Any words of wisdom? You guys are like,
I already
hey,
quit my miss. I was participating. Mine's
okay.
on the board.
Okay, boys for Mr. Bryant. Hi, Sandra, how you doing? Nice to see some of the juniors. So cute. All right, here we go. So thank you everyone who's participating. Teachers, please give some points to these participants in Nearpod. I'm gonna get us, keep the party rolling. 1 second. So we started last week's Sophomore Promise with this idea of empathy. We're gonna hang on that, but I want you to circle the work of art that shows the challenge of having empathy during a pandemic. So circle the work of art that shows how hard it's been to have empathy during a pandemic. So Brittany has circled this one down here. Brittany, do you want to explain why you circled that one? I promise not to code call anyone but Brittany. But Brittany, why did you circle this one down at the bottom? Are you there, Brittany?
Okay, so basically I circled the one at the bottom because I feel like it's hard because I can't really interact with people like how I used to. It's like more harder. That's basically why I circled.
All right, thank you so much, Brittany. Anyone else want to have final thoughts about the challenges of empathy? All right.
Sorry, Ms. Cooper, I accidentally muted you as I'm trying to admit students.
I know, I saw that. I was like, Missy Menace, playing tricks. So guys, welcome to day 2 of the Sophomore Promises. No problem, Missy Menace, I'm just playing. The AJR Sophomore Promises are a mini senior action project. So guys, this is the middle of your high school experience at AJR. And remember, in 2 years, you're going to present your senior action project in front of a big audience as well. They're an opportunity for you to be upstanders for yourself and have a vision for your future and find your voice in the middle of your AJR journey. Our essential question is, how can empathy make the world a better place? And then how does showing empathy show leadership? So what I want you guys to do is I want you to focus on lifting each other up and writing words of support to each other. So if the teachers could give like some points to folks who are uplifting each other in the chat. And I just want to remind all of the students this week as we get into presentations, that if you don't do it this week, if you don't make a promise this week, then when are you going to do it? Am I right? Right? So if not now, when? So make sure that you choose to take off your mask. And I know it's a small step. You have this little tree growing, but see this big tree down here? It's going to have a big impact on your future. So you have a choice whether or not you're going to share your promise this week. And also it really will help your grade. Yes? Because it's a big event. Okay. So I wanted to focus on leadership today. So if you could take a moment and circle your favorite quote having to do with leadership. And then my drama students, if you could take this time to warm up and make sure your camera ready. Please circle your favorite quote about leadership. Can I have a volunteer for a teacher to read one of these quotes on leadership?
Just any of them, miss?
Any.
Hold on. Let me pick one.
You want to go, miss? Or any other miss?
Oh, I can go ahead. I'll read the first one. Leadership is not about titles, positions, or flowcharts. It is about one life influencing another.
Mm.
I can
Second.
read the next one. Oops, sorry, mister. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead, miss. Go ahead.
What you do has far greater impact than what you say.
Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality.
Mm.
Leadership is an action, not a position.
Mm. So let's see. A lot of folks are circling the green one. Ooh, we got folks circling all sorts of different ones. Does a 10th grader want to explain the quote they picked and why? Their favorite quote?
I picked the top left one.
Mm.
I
Why
forgot
that?
I forgot what it said, but it's like something about like, a leader. Yeah, leadership is not about titles, positions, or flowcharts. It's about one. Like I feel like I picked that one because it's like as a leader, you really gotta influence people for them to make the right choices, and that's like I feel like that's what a leader should do.
Alberto, how does giving our promise influence other students? Like by you saying your promise, how does that help others?
That's a good question, miss. I'd say it's because some people might not be able to like, believe in themselves. Be like, oh, I don't believe in myself. No one else believes in myself. If we present our promise and we show that, each individual person could show support for themselves, they could be like, hey, if they could do it, I could do it. So yeah, that's what I think.
Oh, give him points! Extra credit! I love that. Students teaching. Killing it. I love that. So thank you so much for that. So before we start the presentations, as drama students are finishing getting ready for the camera, in your own words, you have 4 choices for this open-ended question. Explain what leadership is in your own words. And then, how does doing the promise make us better leaders? So basically what Alberto just said, but in your own words. So what is leadership and how does doing this promise make us all leaders? Right? It's about action, positive influence. How does taking off the mask show leadership? You could also talk about that. How is the promise an opportunity to create a brighter future for yourself? Or just give a shout out to a peer that's demonstrated extraordinary bravery. Shout out someone from period 2 drama, and I'll let anyone unmute themselves to answer these questions to get points. Or you could just answer on Nearpod as drama's prepping to get ready. Wait time, wait time, wait time. Marilyn says taking off the mask shows leadership because we are stepping ahead and letting go of what's holding us back. Oh, I love that vision, Marilyn, of us stepping ahead and letting go. Let it go, let it go. Okay, anyone else? Points for Marilyn. Alberto, what a leader today. Taking off the mask shows leadership because some people might be influenced by your decisions and your changes. Yes, killing it. They could be inspired by them, by the people taking off their mask. Make Alberto 10th grader of June. I nominate you, student of the month, Alberto. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Pedro, do you want to answer one of these questions?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
What question? Oh, it says, what is leadership and how does listening to each other? Feel me? Listening to each other's stories can make us stronger because we can know what a person goes through, and we know what like let's say that's harder. We could like start preparing for ourselves on an obstacle that comes in front of us.
Right? Like we learn from their mistakes and we're stronger, right, Pedro?
Yeah.
It gives us like super shoes. We could like superpowers. We could bounce over all obstacles because we've walked in other people's shoes or we've empathized, right?
Yeah.
Guys, and stay tuned for Pedro's promise. It's all about empathy. Maribel says, taking off the mask shows leadership because you yourself are taking the first step to escape society's grasp. You at that point in life, when you take off your mask, you are finally being brave to accept the truth. And remember, Marilyn said in her promise last Thursday that society is the worst dictator of all, which I thought was interesting. Sandra, who had an awesome promise last year via Zoom, says, taking off your mask shows that you're true and you're showing your feelings and you're being real, not fake. And that's how that shows leadership. All right, guys, we're going on. Okay, yes, so leading by example, says Emiliano. Very good. So let's give points to all these folks who are participating in Nearpod. Alberto, Brittany, Marilyn, DeAngeli. DeAngeli shouted out all the drama students who turned on their camera because I know how stressful it could be. Yeah, those drama students. Can we guys have twinkles to period 2 drama in the chat? Way to be leaders. You guys, that was awesome. I didn't want to stop you guys. Like that was really, really cool. Do any of the teachers have any thoughts about last Thursday? I can't even wrap my head around how like awesome they were. I was just like, what? No? Yeah, I was speechless.
I was so impressed with like every single one of them. You guys did so awesome. Also, it was so exciting to actually see some of you for the first time ever.
I know. Talk about taking off the Zoom mask. I mean, indeed. So like shout out to all the 10th graders, because if you're taking off your masks via Zoom, that's why you're the class of fire. That's why you go hard. Okay, guys, for the objective today, drama students, you're performing your promise based on the rubric. I've been bombarding you with that rubric. Vocal choices, physical choices, crescendo, truth, preparation, show your heart, your corazon. Here we go. Audience members, you are lifting up your peers in the chat by demonstrating empathy and joy and support. Nothing but positivity in the chat. This is a big deal. Sentence starters right there. Let's drop some of these sentence starters into the chat. All right. I think, Ryan, you sent me a message, but I don't see it because the chat's full. So I will look for that. Okay. So those are your sentence starters. So try to use them. Okay, take a little photo with your phone, extra points. This is where we are, guys. So this is the week of promises, period 2. They were the leaders. Now we're gonna see period 1. Period 1, you let me know if you want me to go through your slides. Art, you are going to use your slides, right? You don't have a monologue like period 1. So Art, please be ready with your slides and come to office hours or reach out to your teachers if you need any help with your slides. We can help you get that mask in your slides. So just reach out to us if you need help, art students. Here's the schedule. Tomorrow is period 5 and 6. I strongly encourage art students to rehearse their presentation out loud, talking about your mask. Remember art, after drama today, you're going to explain what all the different metaphors in your mask represent and you have to link your mask to your promise. If that sounds hard for you, maybe it's because you didn't plan your presentation or you haven't practiced saying it out loud. So go back to Fire Right 19 and make sure you plan what you're going to say. Clean up your slides like I've been saying all month. Okay, so 5 and 6 on Wednesday. On Thursday, we'll hear from period 3. And on Friday, we'll hear from period 7. That'll be our last presentation. Okay, so good luck to art, everyone. And yeah, here we go with drama. So I'm going to stop my share. And I am going to remind drama students, let me know if you want me to show your slides, or you can go right into your presentation. All right, so first on my list is Henry. Dun, dun, dun. Henry, can you turn your camera on? Henry, 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 Henry. All right, if we don't have Henry turning his camera on, Jason, you're up first, buddy. Jason Ariano. Jason, whenever you're ready, let me know if you want me to show your slides.
Yeah, can you show my slides, please?
Got it. The slides, everyone, are a really great way to just get going. It serves as a strong scaffold. All right, here we go, Jason, you're on.
Hi, my name is Jason Ariano, and this is my slide and my monologue after. This is, to me, this is what I call fake beauty and like truly beauty, like fake beauty meaning like covering yourself with a mask or putting on makeup and all, like that's not true beauty. Like true beauty is like more like loving yourself and like showing yourself, like not hiding behind anything and just like just showing who you really are and not hiding behind something. Next slide. This is my identity box. I put Jesus there because that's who I believe in, and for I put my dog there, because my dog, I really care about her, and her name's Simba. She's a German Shepherd, and she's 7 years old. And I put baseball because baseball means a lot to me. It's been there for a while for me. I've been playing it since I was like 3. And a lot of you don't know, I didn't put that in there, but I was attacked by a canine when I was 4. So I was attacked by a canine and I had to go to the hospital. And so I actually have the scars right here. You can't really see it, but in person, you'll be able to see it a lot. So baseball's been there for me like a while. Like to me, baseball was like more like therapy, like what I was going through, because like the dog really affected me so much and all that, because honestly, it literally ripped off my whole face and all that. So it was like a lot going on for me. So baseball was just always there for me. It was something that I can always go to when I'm angry or like I was sad. So baseball was always there for me no matter what. And then I also put the Dodgers because the Dodgers, I really love the Dodgers. I was really happy when they won the World Series and all that. Like, it's just like, I'm a really big Dodger fan. And like, I put some quotes in there, like a ball player got to keep being hungry to become a big leaguer. That's why no boy from a rich family, no boy from a rich family ever made the big leagues, because it doesn't matter if you're rich or broken. It's all about all the effort you put in and all that. And I also put a picture of myself, and yeah. And those are my thinking maps that I did, in order to come up with my monologue. Because honestly, I didn't know what to do at first, until I thought about the whole situation I had back then. So thank you to Miss for doing that for me. My final promise is to help others that are going through bullying and to be an upstander and not a bystander. Yeah. Well, here's my monologue. And by the way, it's about bullying. So, okay, here we go. In first grade, I used to get bullied a lot by other kids, and I couldn't be happy all the time because I got beat up a lot, and it happened all the time in first grade. So when I was in first grade and second grade, all I was doing was thinking about revenge, 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 and I ended up becoming a bully. I ended up bullying others, like beating them up for no reason and causing pain in their life just because I was going through something about bullying. When second grade ended, I wanted to change everything that I have done. So I wanted to become a nicer person to others and try to help other people. But I just kept thinking about what I did and what I caused to other people. Like someone could have been going through something. One of their family members could have died, or they probably could have just had family problems going on. And I'm over here causing more pain in their lives and messing with their heads and not letting them focus on other things because they always had to deal with me. I still think about everything that happened till this day, like how I made them cry, like how I treated them. I always think about it because it's something that I can't change. And now I just want to help others that are going through bullying and just in general help people in need or need support or people that just need help with something, because the one thing I wish I would have done is tell someone about it instead of being quiet about it. I feel like things would have been a lot more different for me if I would have told someone about it. I just wanted to say that people who are going through this and are quiet, don't be afraid to speak. I know being quiet, you might think that it's a good decision for you, but I thought the same and I ended up hurting other people. So don't be afraid to just let it out, because bullying has been going on for a long time. Because I got bullied like in first grade, and that was like in what, 2011, 2012? And the fact that it's still going on in 2021 is crazy. Too many people are being affected by this. Like bullying for me really impacted my life. And also when I became the bully, that also impacted my life a lot. So my final promise is to help others that are going through bullying and to be an upstander and not a bystander. And that's it.
Woo! Can we please show Jason some thanks in the chat? Talk about taking off your mask. Way to go, Jason. Killed it, classifier. I have Isaiah up next. Isaiah, let me know if you want me to show your slides.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, lost the slides. Lost the slide deck. Look what I did. Okay, here we go. Oh, and then there's Jason's annotated monologue. Woo, Jason! All right, Isaiah.
Okay, so my name is Isaiah, and can you go to the next slide, please, miss? So fake beauty to me is something that like when a lot of people have like just start wearing a lot of makeup, like they start kind of like really like heavily dependent on makeup, or like other people who like care about their weight, like men want to be like really big and like muscular, someone want to be like really thin, and because they think like society has normalized the fact that men are big and strong and women are small and frail and skinny. And a lot like fake beauty to me also is like when people like constantly wear their masks, like the same thing I just said earlier with like men being big and women being small. Like they always wear masks, like usually a lot of the times people really don't want it. Like some people who work out just like genuinely want to be fit, but other people wear the mask not because they want to, but just because they feel like it's that they have to, because they don't like themselves, and like they become dependent on it. So like my personal definition of beauty is when people like cut out negativity, or they're happy, or they try to stand out. They accept their limits and they accept the fact that they can't be perfect, and they just start realizing the fact that being beautiful without having makeup and without using a lot of makeup or caring about your weight is possible. Putting in that effort really helps people get to that point. Next slide, please, miss. And negative human behavior is like when people start like that picture self-worth is like something like a lot of people have a lot of trouble dealing with. Self-worth is like when they don't value themselves at all. They value others a lot more than themselves. They're really selfless people, which is good, but they never value they never value themselves at all. So and like a lot of high expectations go into that because they feel like they can't meet those expectations, so they just don't believe in themselves anymore. And the solution to that is just for us all to lift each other up and for us to love each other for who we are and not for what we see. So next slide, please, miss. So like I have a lot of like faith, like in just like whether I've been trying to have like a lot of faith and whether um like I can do things or not, like stuff like I've been trying to get into like reading a lot more so I can start getting into more like healthy habits and like emotional stuff. Like I have a cat, his name is Miku, he's on my chair right now. Um he's just something that really helps me a lot because he's a little small cat, so he doesn't really he's just like a happy little animal. So it's kind of like something I want to reach, not just being like a happy little animal, just being happy all the time because he's alive. And like also I play guitar, that helps me a lot because like if I'm feeling like sad or angry, I can all just put it into the guitar, like playing certain types of music or just letting what you feel out. And next slide, please, miss. Or the final promise one actually. So yeah, my final promise is to love myself and learn who I am. And that's it. I'm gonna go to my monologue. Okay. So the anxiety or paranoia that I experience whenever I'm in the darkness is something that I needed the mask for in order to hide from what lurks behind the walls, below the floor, on the ceiling, and behind me. I want to climb out of my cave, take off my mask, but there is no fire creating lies. I'm not being comforted by anything. Even so, I still couldn't get out. What I'm aiming for wasn't to discover the truth. It was to free myself from oppression. The chains made from a sorrowful blue, a hateful shadow on my violent mind. But of course, it's only what I feel inside of me. What's outside doesn't matter. What's inside of me is completely masked, so no one knows. Any form of social interaction fails to discover the feelings inside that I feel every night. The night when the bright white moon is revealed. The bright white light which illuminates the inside of my mask where everyone can see, but no one ever does. I'm tired of having to pretend someone I'm not. I want to be myself. I want to know myself. It feels like I have different personalities with every single person I know. Serious, energetic, tired, bored, or happy. I want to value myself as much as I value everybody else. I want to be happy for myself or live to my own expectations. Things like that are impossible with everyone saying, I know you can do better. People have also told me to push myself over and over and over and over and over again. It never helps. It only makes me feel like what I'm doing isn't good enough. It makes me feel like I'm not good enough. Seeing everybody else do things better than me makes me jealous and I hate it. I hate feeling negative emotions, but because of what everyone says and does, they're all I ever feel. I've played guitar for 2 years and I can play so many different songs. I've practiced every single day for hours upon hours for the past 7 months. And when people look at me, they don't ever think to compliment me. They immediately see that I need to get better. I'm glad they think I can get better, but I just want to know where I'm at right now. I practiced for so long and so often, and somebody all just says, that's it. That's it. I prefer nice or that was good. Times when I think I've done good enough for myself don't exist anymore. I try to bring them back, but it just doesn't feel right. It feels like my problem is that I just don't respect myself or just straight up don't like myself anymore because of what everyone else has said. So with that, I promise to love myself. I promise to learn who I am. And I think we should all love ourselves. Even if you feel hopeless, there's still more time for you and everyone else to get better. This is a slow process that we all need to take. That's it.
Woo! Can we thank Isaiah in the chat for that beautiful, well-planned, well-rehearsed promise? Thank you, Isaiah. Maybe if we have time, we can hear you play the guitar at the end. Think about it. Next up, we have Leslie. I see, Leslie, your slides are really solid. Do you want to show them?
Sure.
All right, here we go. So your slides will get you into it. Again, remember, art students, make sure your slides are cleaned up for tomorrow. All right. My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. Oh, now I'm lost. I was skimming. Awkward, Miss Copera. Okay, here we go.
Hi, my name is Leslie. And yeah. For me, fake beauty is like anything to do with changing how you really look like behind all that makeup, all that surgery, all that like just not necessary stuff. And true beauty is like who you really are, having self-love and really getting to like show like your true colors and all that. Human behavior, like negative human behavior is, for me, these are like some of the things I went through. And it's bullying, body shaming, mean words, putting people down, pointing out their flaws, telling them how they are supposed to look like, and making them feel less. And the world would just be better if we like accepted everyone and ourselves, kept our mean opinions about others to ourselves and forget them, shared kindness not to just our friends but everyone around us, complimented people, and made people feel worthy. For my digital identity box, I put God because I believe in him, and I put friends and my dog, and the picture of all my friends right there. It's Aurelie, Lady, Hillary, Fatima, and this girl named Jessica. And I was taken in my sweet 16. And the picture of my dog, that's a Chihuahua, and like she's just, I feel like she's like my best friend. She's like 5 years old and she's a little aggressive, but that's okay. um I put quotes. I put quotes for the heart part, and like it just like I think that's kind of like me. And then the last one is just like all about me. My final promise is to never be ashamed of who I really am, and to I promise to uplift people who are ashamed of themselves. Okay. When I was in 5th grade, I was ashamed of being born in Tijuana. When teachers and friends would ask where I was born, I would say I was born here. In my head, I knew it wasn't right to lie, but I did anyway because I was too shy to admit where I was really from. I would cover up my Mexican shot they give us Mexicans when we are born. I would say I got a cut and put a band-aid over it. If I didn't do that, I would try to scratch it off. This continued on for a couple of years until 8th grade. I realized it wasn't right and I needed to stop being ashamed of where I was really from, who I really was. Looking back at it right now makes me realize it was the biggest mistake of my life. But I am now proud and happy to say that I am a Mexican born in Tijuana. I think of it as a lesson, a positive thing for me. While I am bilingual and know my Spanish and English very well. A negative, well, many people don't really know where I am from because I lied and hid it. So I encourage anyone who is going through a similar situation, to just speak up and really show who you are. No matter where you are from, you are still a beautiful human being. Race, states, or anything shouldn't make us any different. I promise to never be ashamed of who I really am. I promise to uplift people who are ashamed of themselves.
Woo! Thank you, Leslie. Can we give her some twinkles in the chat and thank her for her story? Thank you so much, Leslie. Such bravery. Because of time, drama students, you're going to cut right to your monologues. Art students, this won't happen for you, right? You're going to show your slides. Okay, but we're gonna cut right to monologue. So Jaden, you're up next. Can you turn your camera on, Jaden? Okay, I'm not hearing from Jaden. Can we hear from Itzel? Itzel, can you turn your camera on? Itzel.
Yeah.
Itzel, are you good for going straight to your monologue? Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
All right, let's give Itzel some twinkles, and thanks again, Leslie. Whenever you're ready, Itzel.
I always said to myself that I would stand up for myself and others, but I was wrong. Because there was a time where I could have stood up for someone, but didn't because I was afraid of the outcome. I didn't stand up for that person because I was afraid I would lose my so-called friends. I knew that they were doing was wrong because you don't do that to a person. I knew they were going to do something to that person because that person called them a name. They told me that they were going to confront them during lunch. I kept saying to myself that it was wrong and that they kept telling me that it wasn't nothing bad and they were the ones who started it by calling us a name. But no matter how much I told myself, I knew that they were doing wrong. I didn't want to join, but they kept on saying, come on, nothing that bad. And that it was just payback because he called us a name first. I mean, I wanted to lose them. I said, sure, why not? When the time came, I didn't do anything. I just stood there and watched. After what happened, I realized that I should have told someone, and I regretted it. And up to this day, I still regret not doing anything. This reminds me of the Holocaust because people just stood there and watched what was happening and didn't do anything. If people did something, maybe we could have prevented many deaths from happening. I think that we could all have done something at a point but didn't. My final promise is to speak up for myself and for all of those who can't speak up for themselves as well. I will keep this promise by helping others when they need me to and be there for anyone. We all need to help each other to stand up for what's right. And by doing that, we could prevent many things from happening.
Yay! Woo! Please thank Itzel for her story. Show her some empathy and love in the chat. Thank you, Itzel. You just did that, Itzel. You did it. Angel Diaz, you're up next. Angel Diaz, can you turn your camera on, please? Angel! Oh my gosh, are you in the meeting? Angel, Angel, Angel. Diaz! Angel, I see you. You good? Look, Brian's like cheering you on in the chat, Angel. Okay, I'm gonna loop back to some of these kids at the end just in case they're having technical difficulties. Litzy, you're up next. Litzy, can you turn your camera on? Litzy Dismas. Litzy. Litzy? Okay, I'm gonna loop back. Jose Flores. Jose Flores, are you there? You ready to go? This is your final.
Yeah.
All right, turn your camera on, please. Woo, Jose! You got this!
People may joke around and make fun of someone's appearance without really truly knowing how they feel about it. I committed a mistake that I really regret doing, which was making fun of a friend where he got to a point where he started crying. I would make fun of the way he stuttered, and I would continuously mock him. I thought I was being funny and that it was okay just because I was seeing laugh it off, but he was truly hiding the way he felt about it and didn't want to show us his weak side. This all later backfired when I felt the same way he might have felt. Growing up, I would get made fun of for not having expensive objects like other people, and it made me really feel unappreciative. This made me want to have what other people had just to fit in, but soon I realized that you should always appreciate what your parents are able to provide you with, and you shouldn't focus on what other people have to say. What I'm trying to say with all this is to always try being positive towards the people around you because you never know what they're truly going through. I would just simply be nice. It can cause a positive impact in someone's life. My final promise is to change for the better and to never commit the same mistake and to always spread positivity.
Yay, Jose! Thank you for your final promise. Woo! Please thank Jose for the gift of his monologue in the chat. Thank you so much, Jose. Awesome. Good job. You did it. Yay. All right, Pedro, you're up. Pedro. And then Omar, Luna, you're on deck. Omar, Luna, you're on deck. So Omar, you may want to prep, make sure you're ready to go. Pedro, can you please turn your camera on?
Yeah. I got
All
you.
right. Woo, Pedro! Give him some shout outs. And during these transitions, you can give a shout out to anyone who's gone. Jason, Isaiah, Leslie, Eatsel, and Jose. Make sure you thank them in the chat. All right, whenever you're ready, Pedro. You good? Are you there? Pedro, you ready to do your monologue?
Yeah, miss, I got you.
Okay.
I mean, it's cold, so I got you. I put a sweater on. All right. Said, I'm a bystander. A bystander, in my definition, is walking away from a problem. My 7th grade year was crazy. Yes, I'm a bully. Whoever says that they're not a bully, they're lying. I've read a lot of people on my ignorance and my attitude of not caring. Like one day, I was walking down the 40 bus by Western and King. It was a nice gloomy day. I entered school thinking life is good. Then I realized my friend was all in the corner crying, sobbing with his head covered by his hoodie. First I saw him and I didn't really care. My pride was too much. Then I felt bad and I went back to ask him what was wrong. He told me something I didn't believe. Told me that his dad left. After my dad. Oh, he could die. I wish he was never there with me. Where's that? I didn't take serious because I thought he was joking. There's nothing to cry about, I told him. How dare you, Pedro? Yeah, how dare I? How dare I? Just that sentence could have cost me my whole friendship. I look, chat. Like right now, I want you to type in, like, I want to type in chat, like, have you ever said something that, like, could have cost your whole friendship or relationship? And tell me if you regret it or not. I'll give you 5 seconds. Sure, good looking out, chat. All of a sudden, it was a sad, gloomy day for me. A bystander, my definition, is walking away from a problem. That's what I did. I said words that didn't help, and I left. I promise to listen to any problems that my friends have, because they might be going through something way harder than me. Not everyone has the same life. Yo.
Woo! So I want everyone to think about that time when they regret not doing something like Pedro. I really love that story that you told, Pedro, and how you talked about it during our seminar. And just think like, well, what is your story? And maybe you want to drop that in one of your facing history assignments about that time when you regret something. All right, so just take a moment and think about that and think about what you want to do differently in the future. And as we think about that, Omar, whenever you're ready, Omar, camera on, Omar. Omar, are you there? We talked about this, Omar. Omar, Luna, are you there? Do. Let's fix those grades, Omar. You there? I will loop back to Omar. Leonardo. Is he in the meeting? No, Leonardo. Okay, Joshua Marin. Joshua. You ready?
Yeah.
Are you okay to go right into your monologue, or do you have something you want to show us in your slides? Because we may have time now. Straight to your monologue? Is that what you said? Okay, got it. All right.
Gotta go now. Or?
Yeah, look at all the love you got in the chat. Woo.
I didn't know being an upstander was harder than I thought. Almost most of my life, I've been a bystander. I've become from many things from being fat to racial slurs. And they say that's a joke. When I open my mouth to say something, so they can stop at least. Stop being so sensitive, they say. So I become a bystander and let it continue. I always thought that maybe because I was stupid or maybe because they're people I call a friend. The truth is, at this point, I didn't care about their words, and I don't think they notice how hurtful words are. Sometimes it's to the point that I think about why my skin is like this. Yeah, I said it. I think that way. And it's the worst thing to think about. Being called anything negative affects me completely. Most people don't know that worst hurt, like I said before. I bet I'm not the only one that's been through it, that's been called stuff. I've seen it myself, and the worst thing of all is that I never did anything about it. Knowing my whole life I've been a bystander. Wanna know why? Because anything you do or say to help other people will affect you. Negatively, a lot of things will happen. If you go to a teacher, you're called a snitch every minute, or nobody wants to associate with you. Overall, being the upstander is not as easy as it seems or as you think. I was bullied because of my skin, not because of how I am or if I mean, because I'm Black. People that bullied me didn't even get to know who I really was. They just called me names like fat ass, fat fuck, even the hard R. I was affected to the point that I lost myself. And just to make myself feel, I lost myself and I didn't know what to do anymore. I even thought of how it would be without me in this world. Just to make myself feel better, I would say my favorite quote: "It's okay not to be okay." I say that because mentally I know everything's going to be fine and tomorrow's going to be a better day than it is now. I noticed people fail to know a lot of things about me. They just based on appearances instead of getting to know who I really am. They don't know that I care a lot more about people than myself. They don't know that I'm not happy sometimes even with a smile on my face. They don't know that I'm helpful when it comes to giving advice to help people with serious issues. They don't know that I sleep with a teddy bear my mom gave me when I was younger. They don't know so much, but yet they judge before trying to be your friend or trying to get to know you. Judging people based on appearances is so common that people make it seem that it's a good thing. Everyone should know that nobody's perfect and nobody should change for other people. Be yourself. And I promise to myself that I won't let people's words affect me, and I promise to love myself and not change my appearances for nobody.
Whoa, I have chills. Let's give it up for Joshua. He had props. Did you see that teddy bear? He showed a prop. That's like in-person drama level. I just want to give a shout out to all the drama kids for adapting and doing drama on Zoom. Killing it, classifier. All right, I am looking in the meeting. There is a student I don't see here, so I'm going to jump to Leslie Montien. Leslie.
Okay. So it's natural human behavior to judge people, but I wish I never judged this one specific person. All my life, I've never really made friends that easily, at least not real ones. When I was in elementary school, there was this girl who I always didn't like for no reason. Every time she tried to be my friend, I pushed her away. I've always felt bad about this, like I made her feel unwanted. I regret treating her this way. Little did I know, this person would become one of my best friends years later. When we were younger, I just judged her for what was on the outside and what other people had to say about her. When we got older, I learned so many new things about her internal identity. I wish I had never treated her this way, because later on, I learned that she was going through some family issues and needed a friend. Ever since I made this mistake, I always tend to get to know people and judge them for their internal identity. Have you ever done this? Judge a person for what was on the outside? I think many of us have. Like I said in the beginning, it's natural human behavior. But even if it is, we all need to try and get to know a person before we judge them. This is my promise, but it should also be yours. That's it.
Woo! Thank you so much for your promise. Oh, I felt that crescendo. Yes, Leslie. I'm so proud of you. All right, I am skimming. I got some people absent. Ooh, I love seeing these juniors. I miss you guys. The names of the juniors. All right, so Star, you ready, girl?
Yeah, miss.
Oh my gosh, guys. Give it up for Star. Here we go.
Why did I stay with him, even though he caused me so much pain? I became a second option. We do this ourselves. We allow ourselves to become a second option. My boyfriend intentionally put me to the side. Rather than spending time with me, he lied and FaceTimed with other girls. He became a liar, yet I stayed. One night, a girl texted me on Instagram, "Your boyfriend is cheating on you. My boyfriend was on a dating app instead of texting me. Instead of thinking about me, he was thinking about other girls. Yet I stayed. We stayed. We take it. Is it because we feel like we're not worth it? Is it because we're hungry for love and approval? My mistake was that I stayed for love. My mistake was that I stayed in the cave. Love blinds us. To the students who are blinded in situations like this or feel that they don't deserve better, you deserve better. We all deserve to get out of the cave, out of that mess, out of a tangled web of self-hatred and self-doubt. I don't need his love. I need to love myself for who I am, Star. We need to be someone's second choice. We shouldn't be someone's second choice. We can be each other's first choice, us, a community. We are each other's first options. We deserve to be each other's number one. Don't worry about how society views our external identity. We are all beautiful on the inside and out. I am my first option. I promise to love myself and to be my first option. I promise to inspire others and to show others to love themselves. Know that if you ever go through a situation like this, know you should not be a second option. You are worth so much more and should be first. This promise won't be easy. We have concerns. We have self-doubt. But love yourself with your entire heart. Love each other. Leave the ones that treat us as a second option in the past. Leave those fools in the cave. I'm Star. I'm beautiful. I'm throwing my mask in the trash. And I'm celebrating, and you should too.
Woo! Throw that mask in the trash. Leave those fools in the cave. Love it. Star, way to go. Look at the chat. I said, like that crescendo, I got chills. I got chills. Star for president. Star, stay at EJR. You could be our president. All right. Tell Star to stay at EJR. And Adina, did you want to show your slides? We might have more time. I'm going to loop back to see who's not going, but no pressure. But let me know if you want to show your slides. And Adina's next. And then Fatima, you're on deck. And Adina, Fatima. Shout out to all these drama students in here who are showing leadership. Period one, we were real shy at the beginning of the year. Shy.
Miss, you can show me slides if you want.
All right, here we go. So the slides are a scaffold to help us figure out. Ooh, dun, dun, dun. You need to find things in a giant deck like this. Quick tech lesson. You go in and you hit Control F. Now look what I'm doing. And Adina. I love that control. Mr. Higgins taught me that. Mr. Higgins, shout out to you. All right, here we go. And Miss Hibler. All right, whenever you're ready, and Adina.
Okay, so some pictures that I put for Fake Beauty would be ones that show grades, because I feel like some of us tend to judge each other based on our academics, like whoever has a grade, like best grades, they say, oh my god, like she's so smart, she must have a perfect life and this and that, but you know, sometimes we just are so quick to judge that we don't know what the person is has struggled and like to get what she or he has in his grades. I also put like popularity, social media, and weight and skin. For beauty, in my eyes, is accepting one another, having self-love for who you are, and equality, of course, and just showing your true self even at your worst and at your best. Next slide. Okay. I feel like negative human behaviors are just gossiping about one another and just wearing a mask and being disrespectful. Positive human behaviors would be accepting one another and for like who they are, no matter what, and just showing empathy. So I didn't really put a lot of pictures, but I feel like I'm more spiritual when I'm just at peace and have some of my alone time. Something that I think about a lot is my future. And I feel like my emotional would just be my friends, my siblings, and my family, of course. And yeah, that's it. So that's it.
All right, whenever you're ready, Anadina.
Your eyes lay on my face. Thousands of thoughts are going through your head. No matter how hard you stare, you won't be able to understand me and why I am the way I am. I'll give you a hint. That father figure that usually comes in a family, yeah, I don't have that. It's okay, right? I mean, I'm just like any other girl, huh? You know what? Maybe my features don't say it all, but then why bother making assumptions? Assumptions that you stand behind but don't even understand. Growing up, I had to learn that someone's absence can teach you more than their so-called presence. I open up enough just to let you know what I want you to know. Why? Because to be truthful, I don't want you to feel sorry for me, nor do I want to be judged. But as of right now, the words that I have written and memorized speak upon me. I always tell myself that everything is okay, but is it really? Sometimes I feel like I lose myself in a world where it's just me and my thoughts. Thoughts that break me apart. I always bring myself back together though. I've learned to do that ever since I stopped becoming dad's little girl at the age of 5. Well, maybe even earlier. My dad wasn't the perfect father or husband, but I could never hate him, right? He's my father. He's human and he makes mistakes just like any other. Yes, sometimes I have times where I just wish my dad didn't make the mistakes he did and was still with me, especially when I see other girls my age with their father. I was an only child till my sister came along. I remember being so mad at the fact that that little attention that I had left from my mom was sort of cut. Selfish of me, right? I wasn't the smartest little girl, and when it came to homework, I remember crying at the table, making sure my mom didn't see or hear me because I didn't want to put more on her shoulders with everything she already had going on. I remember I kept telling myself, no, I'll figure it out. I like being able to solve my things myself because it made me feel better, and it still does. And I don't like putting my problems on others. I remember my dad once told me, Mija, sabes que te quiero, vea? Daughter, you know that I love you, right? I hated when he told me those words. Because if he really meant them, then why did he always have me wondering where my dad was? That, oh my god, okay. Oh, I became tired of his lies. I mean, no, not lies, but words without no meaning. That then just led me to nodding my head to show him that I was listening. I wish I would have told him how I felt. Maybe he would have took my words into consideration, and maybe I wouldn't be having such a hard time accepting the truth and staying quiet and remaining silent when things bother me. That's why I promise to heal. I promise to start seeing myself as who I had made myself to be, and not as what my past had made me to be. As not as what my past had made me to be, but as me and Adina. Thank you.
Woo! Give her some twinkles. That was beautiful, Enadina. We are our most important creative projects. You create your life, you create your destiny. Thank you for showing us your vulnerability. That was amazing. Fatima, we're back to a time limit. So if you could turn your camera on. And here we go.
Okay.
You got this, Fatima. Let's go.
Wait. Okay. Bullying, such a simple word, right? Like any other, with such great meanings behind it. Remember those 70s, the anti-bullying ones, where they're saying we stop bullying, no bullying allowed. Be kind. Put yourself in each other's shoes. Now those were ignored. Bullying continued. I mean, was it cool? Did you think you were being cool by calling me names, throwing things at me like paper balls, making lies, spreading rumors, cornering me? Because it wasn't cool or cute or funny. It was pathetic. Did you ever stop and acknowledge that this was another human being? That I was another human being? Words hurt. Actions hurt. But what hurt was being afraid to speak up. Being like nothing. Like my words meant nothing. Like the word stop meant nothing. You see, many tend to shut off. Because when we try to open up, in most cases we get ignored, we aren't heard, we get called a coward, a crybaby, an attention seeker. And you know what most people will say? Don't worry, it'll pass. Well, in my case, it didn't pass. And things never got solved. You might ask, where were the teachers? The principal? What about her friends? It's like they all neglected what I was going through. I remember being in the 7th grade, and the boy across from me started throwing things at me. Now the boy behind him joined in, threw paper balls at me. They threw pencils as well. They didn't care if I got hurt. They were sharpening them over and over and over again just to make sure I got hurt. Such a simple thing, right? Now he was the one who would usually start the name callings in that class. Everyone laughed, and others would continue. I remember being in science class and learning about the possibility of multi-universes. He screamed out, imagine if there was a skinny ma. Skinny ma. Now, if you don't know my name, it's Fatima. It has the word fat in it. And he thought it would be so funny to say my name, but with skinny replacing it. It'd be funny to you. I mean, are you laughing? Who out there is laughing right now? I mean, you're on mute. I obviously can't hear you. Are you laughing at this? Because I had to hold back my tears. Hear their hyena laughter, see their sis, and just stay quiet. I couldn't reply back because I would get at. It felt like they were hunting, and I was always their target. Like a wolf pack, and I was their supper. Only they never got enough. They were never full, never satisfied, and kept going. You know what? Let's take a pause. Let's take a breath because it's not like I took this too personal. It's wrong. Period. Because if you have laughed or are laughing right now, you missed the entire first part of my monologue. Did you miss the part about how I got things thrown at me? How they intentionally made sure I got hurt? The thing said to me, nothing, no little comment should happen. Lyrics in a song once said, words cut deeper than a knife. And that is so true because words like that, little things like that destroy people. This destroyed my entire middle school experience. So if you laugh, then you're part of the problem. So let's take a step back. What can we do differently? Does anyone know? Do you have an idea? What about the teachers? How can we stop this? Because we need to stop looking the other way. Wake up, pay attention. Because children are suffering. We need to be working towards a world of togetherness. As 10th graders, we need to accept the notion that often grown-ups fail. And we're going to be upset of tomorrow. Promises work with following through. And we need to hold each other accountable. There's never a little girl like myself that feels alone. No one should ever feel alone. We are in a world where many of us are still in a cave, whether we acknowledge it or not. Now, I promise to teach and educate people about situations like this so the cycle stops. I promise to be an upstander, and I promise to teach others how to become an upstander. So stuff like this hopefully starts to decrease in our society.
Woo! Queen. Yeah, Fatima. Miriam, you're up next. And then we have a few more after that. Miriam, can you turn your camera on? Fatima, that was amazing.
Okay, I start now? Okay. I have made a lot of bad decisions in my life. I have hated myself for them because I've always hurt people, and in the end, I'm always the one who looks stupid. The worst part of it is how I have hurt and disappointed my parents due to my mistakes. I've always acted before thinking about them and never thought about the consequences that could come of it. I've made the mistake of always putting others before myself. Yeah, I'm the nice girl. I always push trust, love, and effort into the wrong people who end up leading me into doing some bad things and me making some really bad decisions that I now really regret. I always felt like I was sad and guilty and like I wasn't good enough and like I needed to prove to them people that I was someone. But whatever I did was never good enough for them. And it led to me really hating myself and really wanting to be just like them. I soon realized that I was being stupid and that I needed to change and stop being with people who are bad influences on me. I separated myself from them and I started doing my own thing. But I still wasn't happy because when my parents found out about the things that I've done, they've always reminded me of my mistakes. And it has led to me into making myself feel bad again and hating myself for my problems and constantly thinking about them. And I've always blamed myself because I was disappointed in myself because I disappointed my parents and knew that it was my fault that I did not do the right thing.
I wish that would have never done those things just to prove someone that I could be just like them or the things that they could do. I try to forget about it, but it doesn't work. A lot of people have done things without thinking, and it has led to them to becoming someone or something they had never imagined. Like in the Holocaust and how they had made really bad decisions just because they wanted power over the Jews, and in results they killed so many. But the difference between me and the Holocaust is that I really regret my mistakes, and I really doubt that they regret their decision making over the Holocaust. I want to do better in life and make decisions that are better for myself so I won't have to regret them later. I know that if I start doing good now, I will be a better person in the future. I need to put myself before others and do what I believe is right and good for me, not make decisions that aren't good for me and just to make other people happy. So I promise to always put myself first and always make the right decisions. I will do this by making sure that I am making the right choices in life and thinking about it before I do it. I will love myself and always put myself and my feelings first. And finally, I will learn to forgive myself for making those mistakes and hopefully learn from them. I know sometimes doing the right thing is hard, but I'm determined to try to do better.
Woo! Yay, Miriam. Please thank Miriam for her story. I'm skimming the chat. Jacqueline, are you going to do your promise? Jacqueline. Other students who I don't see logged in. Jacqueline? Brian Torres. Brian Torres, you ready? Brian Torres. Give me the chat. Brian, I see you. Brian, you ready? You gonna turn your camera on? Have my monologue. Yeah, okay, go for your monologue, Brian. You're ready. And then if we could hang back a few minutes into break, I would appreciate it, everyone. We have a few more.
I'm Brian, and my monologue is about bullying. And yeah, so it was April 1st of 2016. It was my first day of school. I barely knew any English, and I barely knew how to pronounce some words. At first, everyone was nice to me. They will help me and stuff. But then as the days passed by, they will ignore me when I try to talk to them, and they will make fun of me because of how I will pronounce some words. They will to go back to my country and that I didn't belong here, but I didn't listen to them. Then middle school came by, and I met someone that helped me and that helped me to be more fluent in my English. And he teach me a lot of stuff, and he taught me to be more humble, and that if others need help, to try to help them the most of I can. So yeah, that's when I promised that I would help others that had the same struggle as me, and that I would make fun of them.
Woo! Thank you, Brian, for your story, for your vulnerability. Thank you for taking off your mask. I have 3 more kids on my roster. Leslie Villasenor. Leslie. We have Leslie, then Natasha, then David. So if you can hang back to hear their stories, I would appreciate it. It's always hard to judge timing on these things. I'm gonna say, as a host, it's hard. Leslie, are you there?
Yeah.
All right, let's get it, Leslie. Woo!
Okay. Growing up, my biggest problem was speaking up for myself. Looking back at it, I realized I really needed to. I never got the courage to because I always thought if I did, I would get in trouble or accidentally say the wrong thing or people taking it the wrong way. I was/still am not the person to ever hurt someone's feelings, and that's what always stood against me for speaking up for myself. I feel like when you're growing up, you don't know many things. So you don't know what you're doing, what you're saying half of the time To people, it looked okay to pick on you or tell you stuff because you wouldn't say anything. I didn't feel anything because I was young when I wouldn't speak up, but some days I did feel unhappy. Now that I'm older, things that aren't okay with me, I speak up for myself because no one should ever make me feel bad. Of course, now I know the right words to say. I know if a person is hurting your feelings, speak up, but in a nice way so you won't hurt the other person's feelings because we aren't all the same. If I have to give someone advice, is to always speak up for yourself when you don't like something because it might never end. We all should have the courage to speak up for ourselves when someone is either putting you down or saying things. I promise to always speak up for myself when something isn't right.
Thank you, Leslie. Woo! Give her some thanks in the chat. Way to promise to be an upstander, Natasha. Thank you so much. There are a lot of Leslies in this class. It's been interesting. Natasha, you there? Okay. Okay, I don't see Natasha. David, can you close us? And then I'm going to loop back and see if anyone else wants to go. But David, are you there? I see you. David? Are you there? Are you ready to go? David, David, David.
All right.
All right, cool. Give him some twinkles. And we got David.
All right. As a kid, I've been bullied since 2nd to 7th grade. I've been bullied so many times it fills me up with so much rage. I've been kicked, punched, and sometimes I even got drawings of private parts on my work, even on pen. I've been called gay for no reason, and to me, it's thinking it's easy to push me around. And I can't do anything about it. I don't know the big reason why, but I felt like it was because of the person I was. I didn't fit in. So I tried changing myself to see if I fit in with everybody, but ended up still getting bullied by many other people. When I'm at school, I don't tell anybody my problems, but when I get home for no reason, I decide to let out my rage on family, to cousins, with sometimes even harsh words. Sometimes at school, they even try to fight me, but with my weak body, I couldn't protect myself. One time I wanted to hang out with friends, and they decided to give me a beating. They even sometimes follow me home to give me a few punches or two. My parents wanted to know what was happening, and I knew that was the moment. I felt like I had to burst into tears. My parents say that it will be easier to ask somebody about these kind of things, and they told me that I had to protect myself. They say how the person would feel, and what is that person is feeling, especially if their family is going through tough times. And I got to understand that it's not always about me. So I promised to myself I have to help people. I have to help people and help myself to find a better future.
Yay, David! I am going to ask if anyone, please thank David in the chat. Thank you all of period 1. Any of the drama period 1 students who didn't go, are you ready to go? Once again, any of the period 1 drama students who didn't go, would you like to go? It's your final. It's your final. You feel so good when it's done. Like you're like, oh, phew, the pressure, huh? Huh, drama students, right around in the chat. Don't you feel good when it's done? You're like, well, I did that. Yeah, Fatima, yes. Okay, I'm gonna hang back to see if any of the drama students who didn't go today want to chat with me, check in. Those are our second day of presentations. Art students, you're welcome to just be on camera and talk about your mask. You're welcome to have your camera off and just talk about your slides, art students. So because it's been a little different, we haven't been on camera as much, but please be ready, art students. Period 6-5 tomorrow, period 3 on Thursday, period 7 on Friday. Please make sure your mask is in your deck and you're organized and you're ready to go. Thank you all the teachers. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you the audience. You've been fabulous, folks. That is day 2 of the presentation. Shout out to the drama students. Woo! Classifier! Yay! Dun, dun.